Okay guys, I figured I would do a little video on my emerging workflow and my setup centered around, my hardware setup centered around the Synthstrom Deluge. A little bit about my MIDI configuration, the different controllers I'm using and synthesizers, just sort of a brief summary of everything, and a little cool feature that I discovered tonight, or at least put it all together and sort of had a little miniature breakthrough. A lot of this stuff may be beginner stuff for a lot of you, but it's not for me. I put this studio together just in the last couple of months, and kind of a big deal to me personally. But at any rate, I've had zero experience with hardware up until a few months ago, and so I'm trying my darndest to learn. So what I've done is I've got 3 hardware synthesizers in the Deluge. The Deluge also has a built-in synthesizer as well. So let me just start with, I've got the Oberheim Matrix-1000. It's on channel 3. I've got the Oberheim Matrix-1000. It's on MIDI channel 1. And I've got the Novation Peak, and it is on MIDI channel 2. This is the Retro Kits MIDI hub. It's sort of a MIDI merger, splitter, through, do everything, router, auto senses on all the MIDI ports. You can do subdivisions of clock per MIDI port if you want to do some weird polyrhythmic stuff, but I don't do anything fancy like that. It's also got its own internal clock and a little tap tempo button on it, but mine receives clock from the Deluge. That's what that MIDI cable is in the back, the red one. That's coming out of the Deluge into there. And then those 3 metal ones, this one here is Matrix Brute, Matrix 1000, and Novation Peak back there. And then, like I said, I've got 3 MIDI controllers. I've got the 74-key Roland A30. It's just nice to have 74 keys and not have to go up and down octaves. And then I've got the Novation Impulse 25. I got it for $75 on Guitar Center. I couldn't pass it up. What's neat about it is it's got an arpeggiator in it, and a really powerful one in my opinion, and I'll get more into that in just a minute. And the Novation Launchpad Pro. I got it because, well, I mean, laugh at me if you want to. I think it looks cool. It has scale modes in it, and I thought it would be good for composition and just to have an alternative to a keyboard, some other way to write. So yeah, I'm not going to get too much into everything, but basically this is going out into this, and then this is going back into the hub. So these 2 controllers are in the MIDI, are in kind of a little miniature chain. And then this right here, I'm running this straight in, its MIDI output straight into the Deluge. And I've set up the Deluge in learn mode, and it's communicating. So I can set up a little jam, and I'm gonna demonstrate that for you. Oh, and one last little bit is the MIDI in is also being run into this Impulse 25 from the hub, and since the hub's getting clock, it's sending that clock back out to this Impulse 25, and that comes in handy with this arpeggiator, because that way I can do an arpeggiated line and it be in sync with the rest of the tempo on the Deluge, on its tunes. And then also, since it's run in to the Deluge, the MIDI in, I can record notes from that arpeggiator in the Impulse 25 straight into here. I can sequence anything I wanted in the Deluge painstakingly, but not so painstakingly, but it would be a lot harder to program an arpeggiated line in manually. Not to mention the fact that these pads are not velocity sensitive, and these keys are, and these are, and all that. And so it's the best of both worlds in my opinion. And I'm a sucker for arpeggio. So what I've done here is I've set up a little 4-bar jam, and it's got all these little tracks. Pretty simple. Let me just check this one because it blew up on me a minute ago. Okay, that's working. Wonderful. There we go. Again, new at all this, and so I'm sorry if this is all just grade school stuff, but so this first track is just a little simple drum loop. Let me hit play, that would help. Just the internal kits inside the Deluge. It's also a sampler too, but I haven't even dived into that. And the second track is going out to the Matrix Brute. Channel 3. So good. And then we go into this third track, and it's going to the Novation Peak, Channel 2. Alright. Easy peasy. And then next, this last track, and this is the cool part that I really spent the last couple hours trying to figure out logically how to make all this work tonight, is so I'm going back out to song mode, and I'm going to go back into this track. And like I said, this is routed to the Matrix-1000, but I've used this nifty learn feature, which is right here. So you hold down one of these pads, or hold down learn and hit one of these pads, and then touch a key over here, and since it's run in, it I'll bump the tempo now. Since it's run in, it will now receive commands from this out to whatever sense I want to. Any of these. Alright? So I've got it routed over to this one right now, channel 1. Alright? And so this arpeggiator's kind of cool. You got to hit it in the right spot or it falls out. This is going to be a kind of a juggle here with my hands, but I'm going to show you what I'm excited about. So I'm going to hit record. Now my notes are going straight into the sequencer on the Deluge. All the octaves. There's the top octave. I think I'm missing a note, but it doesn't matter. I didn't hold it down long enough. Bottom octave, middle, and top. It's 3 octaves. So I thought that was just super cool. And that's pretty much it. All right.